And then you get the random people at the garage sales that are like, this thing sells for $5,000 on eBay. It's the greatest Disney Black Diamond VHS ever made. What's going on, guys? Jessica and Zena here, and today we're doing something extra fun. We are celebrating our 100th video on YouTube, and that is this video. So we reached out to you guys, our viewers, on YouTube and on Instagram and also Facebook to see if you guys had any questions for us. So we're going to answer the questions that we received from quite a few viewers, and we're going to answer, we have 25 questions total. What do you think, Zena?
About what?
100 videos.
That's awesome.
It's pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We don't look that excited right now because it's getting late. It's like 9 o'clock at night. And one of our dogs is snoring on the floor and the other one's over here begging us.
For attention.
For attention. She just wants attention. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the questions that are a little bit more about our personal life and things like that. And then we'll get into the more reselling side of things. So let's start off with question number 1. How did you two meet? You want to tell that story?
Sure. We met by going to a Lita's meetup. When I moved here and we got my motorcycle license and wanted to meet some new people, I found out about this all women's motorcycle. It's not a club.
Just a group.
Yeah.
Just a group.
It's a group. It's a worldwide. It's called the Litas. And so they were having a ride. So I went on one of the rides and then they did a meetup and I went to the meetup and that was the first time I saw her. Mm-hmm. We didn't really hang out that time. It
was like a group meetup where we met at a restaurant and we were on opposite ends of the table. It was my first time to really meet anybody. So, I mean, except for a couple of the people, I had met them at a event that I went to in Texas and hung out. Me and my mom went to a motorcycle event. That was really cool, taking mom. Mm-hmm. So, and that was right as things started to open up with COVID kind of starting to slow down. So, it was the first thing.
It was after COVID?
COVID was still in the thick, but they were starting to let events happen. So it was the first thing that my mom and I had done that was a public get together kind of thing.
This all happened before COVID.
Yeah. So I met a couple of girls from the Litas there, and that was how I found out about the ride here, and that was how we ended up meeting, was through that that meetup there.
We didn't we kind of met there. We didn't really talk or anything like that. It was a lot of girls and it was kind of loud and we were, Yeah,
it was like a bar restaurant, so it was pretty loud.
We were having a good time.
It was fun.
Anyway, so then I Facebook stalked her. And because I was looking for some people to go do some more rides with or do something with. So with the help of my online gaming buddies, I sent her a message because I'm like, I don't want it to sound weird or like I'm asking her out or nothing, but I want to go for a ride and she's supposed to do something fun. So I sent her a message over the social media, probably Facebook. I don't remember.
I think anyway. Instagram messaged me.
And so I was like, hey, would you like to go on a ride? And we went to the, it was a action figure museum.
Yeah, toy and action figure museum in a small town in Oklahoma.
Pauls Valley, yeah. It's right off the highway, kind of. I think that's how they continue to get business because it is a smaller town, but... So we... Super cool. Decided to meet up at the On-Q near where I work.
Which is a big gas station.
Yeah, big gas station on our motorcycles. And we went for a ride out there. And I'll have you know, that first meetup, she rolls up into the parking lot.
She loves busting my chops over this. She tells everyone.
Her bike. She dumped her clutch and killed her bike as she was rolling up. And me being the nice person I am, I died laughing and pointing at her like, oh my God, you just killed your bike.
I was new to riding at the time. I was pretty darn new, less than a year in, so
yeah,
I have an excuse.
That's pretty much how we met. We went and hung out there, and then while we were at the museum checking out all these cool toys and from our childhood and all that stuff and having that whole nostalgia thing, I found out that she liked horror and horror con, and So I bought us tickets, and the next day we went to HorrorCon, and we just kind of started hanging out all the time.
Listen, y'all. She said, hey, by the way, I bought us tickets to go to HorrorCon tomorrow. And I went, what? But we had a good time, and we've gone to HorrorCon since then, so... let's move on to our next question. That one took a while to answer, but
Sorry.
It's a good story. I like it. It's funny. How long have you been together? Do you know? I'm going to ask you because you're horrible with
I'm horrible with dates. I have no idea.
August was 2 years, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years and not 3 years. Look, I'm busting your chops, and I'm still going,
I think it's longer than that.
August, that makes it like 2.5 years.
So this August will be 3 years?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because we've been together for 3 Christmases. We just had our 3rd Christmas. This is not an argument. It's just to figure it out.
I don't know.
2.5 years.
I disagree.
The answer is 2.5 years, August of 2 years ago. Whatever. That sounds weird.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been riding motorcycles? I'll let you go first.
I've been riding motorcycles my whole life. When I was a youngster, my first motorcycle was a 3-wheeler, and
Does that count as a motorcycle?
Why not?
Okay.
I mean, it was more like dirt bike stuff, so...
Yeah.
I had a 3-wheeler when I was like 9, 10 years old, whatever it was. And then my dad got me a dirt bike, a 80. And so me and my dad used to go dirt biking all the time with some friends and everything like that. So I grew up on dirt bikes. And then once I was older, a lot older, I graduated into riding a street bike. I don't have a lot of experience on the street. Most of my experience comes from riding dirt bikes. So, but yeah, I've been pretty much riding more.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Shut up.
I have been riding a motorcycle for, I think January made 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, because we met not long after I started riding. Yeah, because I just got my tag notice in the email today, so... So yeah, 3 years for me, and it was something that I wanted to do my whole life. I always wanted a dirt bike growing up. I would write dirt bike on my Christmas list quite often. Mom always said absolutely not.
For somebody who is so new to riding, you're very comfortable on your bike and pretty skilled, I would say.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid to drive stuff. I've driven a lot of weird vehicles when I used to be an aircraft mechanic, so I worked on a military base here in Oklahoma City area, and we had a lot of weird equipment out there that I got to ride or drive, and then I randomly had a job where I was forced to learn how to drive a forklift whether I wanted to or not, so that was fun.
If I remember correctly, on the way back from that toy museum, kind of took one of them turns a little harder than we thought.
This one, man, she hit it. We have headsets on our helmets so we can talk to each other. This one hit this curve real fast, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, slow down," because I was behind her.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
It was tight.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, how often do you ride? Ready? Let's hang our heads in shame. It's been way too long, guys. They're in the garage. You guys have seen them in videos, I'm sure. This last year, we only rode a few times. It is very small amount of times.
I will admit, I am definitely a fair weather rider.
Oh, I am too. I
do not like riding in the rain and horrible weather conditions. I like to ride for the enjoyment of it, and it's not enjoyable for me to ride in the rain and get soaking wet.
The rain is terrible. My first year of riding, I rode through cold weather. I was layering in leather and whatever, trying to stay warm. It didn't matter. I was trying to go ride as much as I could because I wanted to get proficient at it. And
I just feel like we've been so busy. We just don't get a chance to ride anymore. And we need to change that because
we do.
They're very expensive to be sitting there not getting ridden. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I think we would like to... One of the challenges I would like to do in the future is I'd like to do a challenge where we go... sourcing like yard sales and everything like that on the motorcycles,
and you can only buy what you can fit
in your bags.
In your saddlebags,
and we both have saddlebags on our bikes or a backpack.
Mine has a sissy bar too, so I can strap stuff to it. Which is the big. If you're not sure, it's the big bar that comes off of the back seat.
That's not fair. Not unless we need to get you one for mine.
We need to get you one. Let's see. How did you learn to ride? I think you already said that. Your dad, right?
Yeah, I pretty much grew up, and I learned from my dad. Grew up, but I did take. when I got my in California, when I got my motorcycle license, I did all the tests and the written tests and like that on my own. But when I moved here, I made the mistake of not having them transfer my motorcycle license.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't ask for them to do that, so I didn't get my endorsement when I transferred my license from California to Oklahoma. So I took the safety class, and I definitely would recommend that to anybody. That safety class was a lot of fun, even for an experienced rider.
Yep.
It still is very knowledgeable. It was a lot of fun, and you just feel way more confident when you come out of it.
That's how I learned. I took the class. I was previously married, got divorced, and was feeling like free, and I needed to go do something fun, and I had wanted a motorcycle since I was a little kid, so I just was at work one day and went, you know what? I think I'm going to sign up for the class. I'm going to see if there's any openings, and it was in January. Took my class. It was wicked cold. Everybody was freezing to death while we were taking the class.
I made sure I took that class when it was a Sunday weekend.
Well, it was on a whim, and I knew if I didn't do it then, I was never going to do it, so I just did it.
Part of the reason I got my license squared away and got my Harley here in Oklahoma was one of my coworkers, one of my buddies, wanted a motorcycle also, and she went and did it. So I'm like, well, we need to ride together. So I went and did it too.
Yeah.
She went and did it in the rain and everything. And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this class in the rain.
No thanks. So here's one, since you mentioned the challenge. Linda asked this question, and I thought it was pretty funny. Have you ever thought about getting a sidecar for your motorcycle so you can source on it in good weather?
No.
Sidecars are a little dangerous, aren't they?
They can be, but you know that if you put a sidecar on your motorcycle, it's not technically a motorcycle anymore.
Really? Does it become a street lit like a car?
I don't know about in Oklahoma, but in California, if it has 3 wheels, it's not a motorcycle, and you do not have to have a motorcycle license.
Interesting. I've always heard they were kind of dangerous, like they cause you to tip easy.
It's 3 wheels, just like a 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
3-wheelers. So I used to also train. I went and did training, and so in California they have the police activities league, where we like teach kids how to we coach them in basketball and all these other sports. Well, we also did a program where we were teaching kids how to ride ATVs, all-terrain vehicles, and I went to training and learned how to ride this. ATVs and 3-wheelers are very body active, rider active. You have to move your body around and slide your weight around to keep those things from flipping. So yeah. 3-wheelers are very dangerous. So I don't own a 3-wheeler.
So since the people may not know, how did you get to be a part of that police officers thing?
Oh, I used to be a police officer in California.
She's a former police officer, in case you were curious. So we'll get to what you do now later. Should we save that one for the last? Just because it's funny?
You can just say it now.
We'll just say it now. Why not? Okay, so this one is probably one of our funniest questions. It made me laugh. I think it's directed at me. It's from Kevin Commonwealth Picker. Mm-hmm. And he said, how do you look so dang young? I put this down word for word, exactly how he asked it. How do you look so dang young? What's the secret? I have to know. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Well, Kevin, you tell us your secret, we'll tell you ours.
That's true. Kevin is Kevin's like my age, I think. He may be a year or two in variance of me, but
I thought
we're pretty close. I think we're pretty close in age, but I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I honestly think that might be part of it. No offense to anybody who has kids. I love kids. I love playing with kids. I love sending them back home to their parents. But yeah, I don't know.
Kids are very stressful.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of it is. I also think I got blessed with really good genes.
Non-smokers.
Yes, we're non-smokers. My sister, who is like 4 years older than me, she looks younger than I do, I think. She looks good, and she's got 3 kids, but I think we're just lucky, honestly. Zena, I don't think you look that much older than me.
Okay.
Should we move on from that one? Oh, gosh. Okay, let's move on to the reselling portion. How did you both get into reselling?
This is not my thing. This is Jess's thing.
Yeah.
And I will say, before I met Jess, I had resold something on eBay, but it was my personal thing. I'm a gamer. I love playing games, and my favorite controller is a Scuff controller. And I have an addiction, and I was buying numerous Scuff controllers off of eBay, and I started reselling some of the ones I wasn't using on eBay. And it was funny because one of the times we hung out, she saw my phone all of a sudden one night blowing up because it was the last few minutes of an auction on my scuff.
It went nuts.
And it was like people were having a little battle over it. And so it was going off like, she was like, what is going on? What is that?
Tell the people, this is a good bolo. A scuff controller is a great bolo. If you guys are resellers, look, if you see controllers, gaming controllers at yard sales or wherever, is it SCUF? 1F? It's 1F or 2F, SCUF or FF.
You can look up, you can Google Scuff, and they have a website because
they're expensive, y'all.
Oh yeah, they're like $300 controllers.
Yeah.
They have a brand new version out for the PS5, which I really want.
Yeah.
But they, so the Scuff controller has some paddles underneath it, so when
let me grab one.
Instead of using your thumbs to
Here, show them this wore out one because it's got all the little things on it.
Yeah. So the Scuff controller is got these paddles in the back, and.
This little clicky.
So instead of moving my thumb off the stick to jump and everything, I put the jump and the slide down here. And these are the triggers and stuff like that for it. So
way too intense for me. I'm basic. I like to play Mario.
Yeah, I love my stuff.
So anyway, that's how she got into reselling, is mostly because of me, but she did do a little bit on her own before I was around. So
any of the stuff until I met her. Like
Goodwill
bins. I did not know that existed.
And it's her favorite thing now.
Yeah, I went.
So for me, it was kind of like not long after I got divorced, I got into YouTube. I had never really been super big into YouTube. When I was married, my wife was watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that was kind of how I started to watch YouTube. But afterwards, when it was just me, my dog is begging me for attention. Get down, buddy. Get down. Good boy. So after that, I started getting really into YouTube because I was trying to entertain myself. And, I happened upon the Tendo channel. If you guys aren't familiar with Tendo, he hasn't done a whole lot of content lately, but he mostly did, antique malls. Him and his girlfriend at the time, this is a few years ago, they had several antique mall booths in the Phoenix, Arizona area. And they also sold some on, eBay. So, and at near kind of the end of when he was doing regular content, they were doing whatnot auctions as well. But so I kind of got intrigued by them, watching them do antique booths, and I thought that looks so fun. So I went around to a couple of different antique malls here, went to a couple that I had been to before, and the first one was really overpriced. Second one was great, so I ended up sticking with that one. And so that was how I started, was with my toy booth, and then since have expanded to, it's a triple size booth now. The person adjacent to me moved out, so I got their spot as well. But so I did that first, and then I thought I'm gonna try to sell online a little bit, and I had heard that Mercari was one of the easiest platforms to use, so I started there. And then when I met this one, she said, "Why aren't you selling on eBay? Is so many more people." And I was like, man, it's scary. It's so big and it's, looks so difficult. And she said, just try it. Showed me how to do a listing, and it just went nuts from there. And I rarely sell on Mercari anymore.
She knows eBay way better than I do.
I love eBay. I think it's an amazing platform to sell on. My
biggest mistake when I first started selling some things on eBay before I met her was that I didn't do the eBay shipping, and I would just go buy the shipping from other, like go to the post office and buy the shipping, and I was losing money on the shipping all the time. Didn't realize that eBay gave you gave you a pretty good discount. So yeah. Do you work full time or is it a side hustle? If it's a side hustle, where do you work? I'm full time. I pretty much stay at home, take care of the house somewhat. This one takes care of the house a lot more than me on weekends, but so I do stuff around the house. I do the reselling. I do YouTube videos and things like that. And then, I got to do the reselling errands, like run to the post office, and I do grocery stores and stuff like that. Those kind of errands for us, but unless we go on the weekend. But what about you? At the moment, I work at UPS full time, but I don't know what that 12,000 layoff that are going to do. Oh yeah, they just announced some big layoff. But I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay too. She's got enough seniority out there that she'll be all right, I think. But yeah, so she's a full-time, they call them package car driver. She's a delivery driver. She runs up and down stairs all day long and busts her hump. And
On the package
truck.
car has 3 steps.
Three steps up and down. That's 3 steps every stop, and over 100 stops a day. That's a lot of
If it's
stinking
a residential
steps.
one, it could be 200 stops, so it'd be 400 times up and down those steps.
Yep. Yeah, that's rough, man. Yeah, she works really hard, so hopefully one day we can get this thing going to the point that she can be full-time too. And we can just continue to do that until we're under the ground, I guess.
So it's not even really a side hustle for me. I am just here to support Jess.
She does a lot, guys. She really does do a lot. She cleans all the hats. She cleans all the clothes. She cleans toys sometimes with me. She helps me with all kinds of stuff. So she gets a lot of drafts ready for hats and things like that. So yeah, Zena does a lot, and she also does her full-time job. So definitely thankful for that. What platforms do you sell on? We currently sell on eBay primarily. We have a few listings on Mercari. And we have sold on Whatnot in the past. It just didn't work out for us. It's got too big too quick, and we were a little behind on that boat. So, but now we are officially selling on Dibdit. If you guys aren't familiar with the district marketplace, Kevin Commonwealth Picker and ADH Dave and Carrie oh geez, Carrie American Arbitrage started their own little marketplace on the district app called Dibdit. And I got accepted to be a live seller. And there actually is a, February 8th?
Yes.
Next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
There is a raid train that's going for most of the day, and I'll be a part of it. Zena will be at work, unfortunately, so it'll just be me, but we'll get you guys more information on that later on. But yeah, so eBay, Mercari, and Dibdit right now. And then, of course, we have the antique booth as well.
We also sell on Facebook Marketplace on occasion.
Oh yeah, we sell random stuff on Marketplace if it's big or if it's something that
we probably
it's just been sitting around for a while. We just want to sell it real quick and get rid of it.
We probably need to push Marketplace a little bit more.
We do. Favorite place to source from? I think I know both of our answers, but it's kind of a toss-up for me.
It depends, because I do enjoy sourcing from the bins. Because I'm definitely got that treasure hunter in them, because I love geocaching and all that stuff. So I definitely love the whole treasure hunt aspect of it and digging through everything to find the treasure.
If you don't know what geocaching is, Google it. It's awesome.
Oh, it's fun, and it's costs no money, and you will have a blast, especially with kids.
Yep, it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
So,
well, you might have to pay a subscription for the app,
but you
on
don't,
your phone.
You're not required to.
You're not required
you can do
to.
It without.
You could do ones that are free. But if you want the premium ones, you got to pay a little extra.
I got you started on geocaching. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
So, sourcing.
I love Do you want to know how I learned about geocaching? I know.
Sure.
I'm going off on a tangent.
Sure.
When I was a police officer in California, I saw these kids late at night, and they were like digging around the bushes and stuff by a business. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I just went and stopped them, obviously, because I'm like, what are you guys doing out here digging around in bushes and everything like that this late at night? And they're like, oh, we're geocaching. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so they showed me the whole geocaching thing and what they were doing.
My goodness.
And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this.
So you were a muggle at the time.
I was a muggle at the time.
So people who don't geocache, when you're doing it, you're trying to be a little secretive. And they call the people who don't know muggles. So you're trying to be sneaky around the muggles and make sure they don't notice what you're doing. That's kind of the running joke, I guess. But
yeah. So anyway,
so favorite sourcing, Zena?
I do enjoy the bins, but sometimes it's just not very great. And I do like the yard sales. Going to yard sales.
I gotta say, we're gonna have to pick one, but my top two, my toss-up is estate sales and the Goodwill bins. But if I had to choose one, I think I would go with the Goodwill bins. Because I'm a cheapskate, honestly, and we've found some amazing things at the Goodwill bins. You don't find something amazing every single time. Sometimes it's just a bunch of crap, and you get home and go, why did we buy this? But it's so fun, and it's so much cheaper than anything else.
Estate sales for me would be like only when they're, not only, but most of the time when they're 50% off or
dollar fill a bag day.
Dollar fill a bag day.
Oh my goodness.
No, because sometimes you go to estate sales and it's really awesome stuff and the prices are great if you're buying it for yourself. But if you're reselling it, sometimes the prices are just not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick the bins. What if you had to and you could only choose one for the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life?
Yep. You could only choose one way to source.
I guess it would have to be the bins.
Don't act so salty about it. What category would you like to learn more about?
I don't know honestly, right off the top of my head, I don't know what one I would like to learn more about, but I'm always willing to learn. Like linens. I watched Kat Nurse Flipper's video on linens, and I was learning a bunch about linens. And I sit there with Google, and I Google in stuff, and I look up words like what's some of the words for the
embroidery?
Well, I know embroidery,
scalloped edges,
scalloped edge. I'm like, what? Okay, so if you see the listing,
she's kind of getting off onto one of our other questions too. By the way, we have a question specifically about linens, so don't go too deep into it.
Sorry, but basically anything I'm looking up, if I see words I don't know, I'm not real good with like vocabulary and English and all that stuff. Like
that's why you make the draft and I check it.
I don't. It's okay. I suck at spelling and I'm not good with vocabulary. So I see these words and I'm like, what does that word mean? And I go look it up on Google and I make sure I understand what it is. So I learn the stuff. So one of the ones I learned was linens. I've been learning a little bit about some of glass stuff and I just want to go to that next level. I think what it is for me is I want to go to that next level where we're sourcing stuff that is higher value. Yeah.
Better quality stuff.
Yeah, better quality, higher value.
Okay, so for me, I would like to learn more about... Geez, I should have thought about this before now, because I'm the one that typed up all the questions.
I think you're kind of the same when you finally get something like the jeans.
Yeah, once I get to something... Yeah, I had a really fun time learning about vintage Levi's, vintage clothing, period. I absolutely love vintage clothing. It's fun.
I think it's just one of those things where when we get a pile of something,
then we figure it out.
That you kind of seem like you like or interested in, then you're like, okay, I'm going to go figure this out.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of a wishy-washy answer from both of us, but I honestly can't think of anything in particular that I want to learn. I just want to learn it all. What category... Oh, wait. We just... this is why I'm supposed to be marking them off. What category do you not like to sell... but sell in anyway? Highly breakable figurines.
Oh, Jesus.
This one wants to buy them all the time, and then I have to ship them.
Yeah, because how much did the Temptress go for?
Yeah, we did sell the Temptress recently. You guys saw that in a previous video. She sold for like $250, but packing her was scary.
How much did the African gray bird statue go for?
Well, let's not talk about that one. That customer was a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
But don't tell them the whole story. We don't have time.
I'm not going to, but that was definitely, I feel like, one of those ones where they were just trying to get us to give them some money back.
We got to get moving. We're only 12 questions in. 13 questions in, and we're like 30 minutes. Whew. Zena, what is your favorite category? Those are all kind of similar, but what's your favorite category that you sell in, that you choose now? Do you think? What's something you gravitate to all the time? Let's put it that way.
What I gravitate to normally is if we're out somewhere, I'm grabbing hats because I just know how to clean them and everything like that. And I like the crystal stuff and the glass stuff. She gets all frustrated, but I
was gonna say your favorite category is linens. This girl goes, ooh, linens. And if I walk into her room, I go, hey Zena, there's linens in here. She'll, I'll be right there.
That's just because they're easy, and most of the time linens are cheap. People will sell them for 50 cents a dollar.
We find them for 50 cents and less pretty often.
What are the ones that I'm sitting there going, I eyeball it, and then we keep walking away, and I keep going like this, and then we walk away, and I keep going like this, and it's usually some glass piece or some really pretty statue or something that you're freaking out about because you don't want to ship it, and I'm like, ooh, that would be really cool.
So that one was addressed specifically to her from Linda. So that was a Linda question. I'll tell you my favorite category is pop culture. I mean, that's kind of a broad category, but I love pop culture stuff, and that's why I'm so excited to sell on Dibdit more. So I love that stuff. Let's see. What is your favorite item to sell? That's kind of the same idea. I probably should have just combined those two. Is there any specific item you love to sell? Not really?
No, there's not a specific item. I do love when we find something in bulk and then we just...
yes.
Like, for instance...
We just got two back-to-back almost bulk lots of Thomas the Train stuff.
Well, and one of the big ones that we got a while ago was I found a box, like a paper... that holds reams of paper.
I'm really confused where you're going with this.
A size full of rubber hoses for people to use for...
Oh,
breathing.
They're the air tubes with the little nose piece, the cannula for oxygen machines.
We were at the bins and I found a box filled with these.
A case that was only missing a few. It had like 44 out of 50 in it.
And so she put these online in one listing, and we basically a couple times a month.
Right before Christmas, we sold a bunch. It was weird. And we sell them in like sets of 2 for like $6 or something.
Yeah, I like when we find something like that. Something we have a big bulk thing, and then it just over the next year or whatever.
Like bread and butter, easy stuff.
A couple times a month, somebody buys that. That's cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah, my favorite item is still anything pop culture. I love pop culture toys, movies, video games, that kind of stuff. That's just...
Yeah, the bad thing is
nerdy.
Half the time she's like, I'm going to keep it. No, your collection's too big. No.
What would you each niche down to if you had to? I think that might be a Amy Beach by repeat question. If you could only pick one type of thing to sell forever, what would it be?
That sounds so boring.
It does sound so boring. Can I just say toys? I love toys, generic. Like vintage toys. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I actually thought about it earlier. T-shirts. I love listing t-shirts. Vintage t-shirts, modern t-shirts. I just love t-shirts are easy for me to take pictures of. I can take all the pictures in a big batch and then sit down at the computer and knock them out. I love selling t-shirts, and they're super easy to ship.
I don't know. I don't think...
Don't think you have one? I mean, you're not full-time, so maybe I can see that being a little bit harder for you.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive item you sold? We actually talked about this last night because we were trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure that it's the Roundhouse jean jacket that I found at a local thrift store. Thanks to Linda telling me about that thrift store. Yes, gosh, it was a really super old... Roundhouse makes, like, overalls, if you guys aren't familiar. But it was a Levi's jacket. I'm pretty sure it was a women's Levi's jacket. Or, Levi's, oh my gosh. Roundhouse jacket. And it's super rare. I posted it, and it sold in, like, 5 minutes. And it ended up going to, I think it was California was where it went. And it went to someone whose username had something to do with denim. And I went to their store and checked it out, and all they sell is really old, hard to find vintage denim. So I was really happy with that sale. I probably undersold it. It was, I want to say like $358, $385. I don't know why that's sticking in my head.
What did the wrestling t-shirt go for?
Oh yeah, we did have, gosh, last year in the wintertime, it's been about a year ago, I had the Stone Cold Steve Austin celebrity deathmatch t-shirt that I found in a dirty old lumberyard. And
that sold for $3 or something like that.
It was like $359, I think. I think they were really close, but I'm pretty sure the jean jacket beat it out. So pretty sure it was a jean jacket.
Me personally, I do have an eBay store, but I don't pay any attention to it.
She does. Every once in a while she gets a cha-ching and she's like, "Hey, I sold something."
I think for me, I mean,
sorry guys,
the most expensive thing I've sold is my scuff controllers, but something that actually found out in the wild. When we were going to the Goodwill the Goodwill stores, we don't do that really anymore because Goodwill is getting ridiculous.
They're too high here. In Oklahoma, they're really high.
But before it started going high, we would go into the bins, not the bins, we were going to the Goodwill store looking for stuff, and I found this box. It was all taped up, closed, for $10, and I could see in there was something in there that was...
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Power Rangers, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna take the chance. It's $10, and it ended up being all 5 Power Rangers, little mini figured, all 5 Power Rangers, and their animal that their
Zord.
Yeah,
their Zord animal.
And then they all like morphed and built a Megazord, and the Megazord was 3 feet tall.
Look, I can't even show my hands that far away. Yeah, it was like 3 feet tall.
It was like 3 feet tall, and I sold that. I bought that for $10, and it sold for over $100. It
was like $129 or somewhere around there. Like that. It was a lot. Yeah. It was really cool though.
Yeah, it was hell.
Listen, y'all, it was so funny watching her try to list it though, because I was in the other room while she's trying to list it. We used to have our setup in our bedroom for a long time. Our photo stand was in the bedroom, and she's in there, and I hear her cussing.
I speak sailor.
She does speak sailor. She speaks cop. She'd get it all put together, and like she'd get like a couple pictures in, and then it would just fall. She wouldn't even touch the table or nothing. It would just fall apart.
That Zord, the legs and the chest part, they just rest on each other. They don't actually snap together.
Yeah.
So
funny. She was getting so frustrated, but it sold pretty quick and for a good, so it made it worth it, I think. But okay. Next, have you ever paid a significant early entrance fee to a church or estate sale?
Me, no.
She has not. I did for the first time. It was not a significant amount. Now, the person who asked this question, I believe it was RTB NYC, pretty sure, gave an example of like $25. The only time I've ever paid to get in early was at a church sale I went to in Mississippi with my sister last year and my dad, and it was $5 to get in the day before.
And was it worth it?
That sale was incredible. I walked straight into that sale, picked up a bunch of brand new, what were they, Dickies jeans, like 5 or 6, maybe even 8 pairs. It was a lot of pairs of brand new with tags, Dickies jeans, and I think I paid $2 a piece for them.
Did you get boots and everything?
Yeah, I got boots. That's actually the video where I met Sticky Bricks. Such a sweetheart. That kid was awesome. You're still awesome. That made it sound like you're not anymore. But yeah, that was a really fun video. I got a lot of really cool things there. I actually have a few things left out in the garage that need to get listed from that. They just got lost in the death pile, but yeah, that was a great sale. The people that were running the sale were thrilled because I kept bringing armloads in. They had like a little separate room where they were checking people out, and I would bring armloads to them. They took armloads from me, and they were just, I think I spent like $150 or something, and they just couldn't get over it. They were so happy. But I think there was a couple other resellers there. Sticky Bricks was there, and
well, the whole reason
I saw a couple others. But
I mean, if you watch the video, you'll see the reason she met Sticky Bricks was because she overheard the mother speaking to the son, right? About
I just heard a young boy's voice say, "Hey, this sell-through rate looks okay," and I went, "What? That's a kid." And I turned and I said, do you guys resell? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, that is so
Their
cool.
Their mom was teaching them at a young age.
Teach them how to resell. And it was just so cool.
Yeah,
and I had a good time chatting with them there for a few minutes.
And he does make some really good Lego videos.
They're really cute. Yeah, y'all go check out Sticky Bricks for sure. Especially if you have kiddos. Or even if you just love Legos. Go check it out. So that's the only time I've ever paid an early entrance fee, which was just $5. So totally worth it. By far, 100% worth it. Would I pay $25? Nope. Probably not. I'm too much of a cheapskate.
I think it'd be $25 if you knew it was going to be like a church sale where it was going to be like...
If there were good pictures and I knew it was going to be banging, maybe.
But $25 to go to something like an estate sale where the prices are kind of high and all that? Nope.
I'd be so mad about that.
Oh, yeah. I'd be pretty upset.
Let's see. Ooh, this is a good question. Where do you buy or find your shipping supplies?
Well, as you know, if you've watched our videos, you know we don't have a problem dumpster diving.
Yeah, we've done several dumpster diving videos. That's something we used to do when we were first dating. We would go dumpster diving for dates. We would. After we would both get off. I was working full time then too, and we would get off work and at night be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And we would go dumpster diving and then go get ice cream or go get McDonald's or whatever, and we would call it a date. We still joke about it being a date.
I don't think we ever actually called it a date. That was like a funny thing.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we get pretty much this past summer, we got so much bubble wrap from places like Kirkland's and GameStop, and there's a shoe store. We have a really good strip mall not too far from us that always has pretty clean dumpsters unless people have illegally dumped. So we can normally get really clean bubble wrap, really clean boxes in a variety of sizes. So we stocked up last summer. And
we haven't done that a lot. You've also been buying a lot more, like on Grainger.
Boxes. I've been buying boxes on Grainger. If you have a Grainger in your local area, it might be worth it to you to just go pick them up yourself. We've saved quite a bit of money on the boxes that we ship our hats in by doing that. I buy all of my poly mailers and bubble mailers. I buy my bubble mailers on eBay because I found a good company on there. If I can, I'll look up their name and put it on the screen for you guys. They're pretty good. I've had good, consistent product from them. And then poly mailers I get on Amazon. Cardboard mailers I get on Amazon. I have links to all that in the description down below if you're curious. Just side note, we do get a tiny, like the teensiest little commission off of that. Like, it's pocket change. So yeah, if you buy anything from our links, we do get a little bit of something, but I've never gotten anything yet. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so poly mailers, that's where those come from. And then of course anything we can find in a dumpster that's super cheap, or we get boxes from next door, from her mom next door. She just tried to get us to take boxes tonight. So yeah, so that's how we normally get it. Our main places that we buy from are Amazon, eBay, and Granger. Oh, and sometimes I'll get bubble wrap from, I do have a link for the My Go-To tape. Our tape, I get that from American Bubble Boy. I have not bought bubble wrap from them yet because I haven't needed to. I've bought bubble wrap from Sam's Club in the past as well. They have a pretty good deal on it. Next, how do you decide if an item gets listed on eBay or goes to your booth? This is ABC Matt asked this question.
Sell-through rate.
Yeah, sell-through rate. Depends on what it is, too. We've been really trying to bump up better quality items at the booth because I got in a really bad habit of being, it's not good enough for eBay, put it in the booth. We've been kind of trying to not do that anymore, and we put the cheaper items in the booth, but we also have been trying to put bigger and better items in the booth, and I think our sales have really changed and shown the difference, so it's worked out so much better for us. There are also things like sometimes if they have some sort of little condition issue, but it's not a major condition issue, we'll put it in the booth. That way somebody can hold it in their hands, look at it, see the condition issue, and decide then whether or not they want to buy it.
If it's something that will sell on eBay, but it's a really slow seller, then a lot of times we'll just put it in the booth. Or if her big thing is, it's glass, put it in the booth.
We sell a lot of glass in the booth, though.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of Corningware type of stuff there, like dishware and stuff. So that stuff is great for our booth because we have like 2/3 of our booth is a toy booth, and then the opposite side of it, the other side of it, is more traditional, like antique stuff. So that's kind of how we decide. We just kind of have to figure out what's the sell-through rate. Does it have any condition issues? You know, like, is it more traditional antique? Do we need things like that in the booth right now? And we'll move them over to the booth. We've taken things off of eBay, put them into the booth, taken things out of the booth, sold them on Dibdit, actually. Our first Dibdit auction ever.
We just did that again. You just took a few more items out of the booth.
Yeah, we took a couple things.
For this next show.
Yeah, they'll be in the next one. So that's kind of how we decide that. What's the best way to price and describe linens? That one's for my mom. She's curious. So she's learning. And it's a great question. I love it.
You know, honestly, I just go with my gut, I guess. So, the more elaborate or the more detailed the embroidery, I only get stuff. Okay, first off, I only get stuff that's embroidered, and I only get stuff that is colorfully embroidered. I don't like stuff that's all plain white.
Mm-hmm. Grab that one right there on top. She's actually got a stack in her gaming chair right now.
Well, I think we showed this to you the last
we did, but everybody may not have seen that video. It looks kind of dark on the screen. Goodness. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what is this? Is it North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a North Carolina thing, and this thing is really detailed. It has lots of really beautiful colors. Gosh, that does not show up as bright as our faces do.
Here's another example of one right here.
Yeah. So what would you say? Would you put colorful if you had room, probably?
Well, okay, so you have stuff like embroidered, floral, it has, I would have to figure out, is that a crocheted edge, I guess, maybe?
I don't know. All the edges are different, or is this multiple? Oh, this is multiple things. I'm going, how does it have so many different patterns? I'm trying not to write on it, too.
Yeah, there's a whole stack here I got to get listed.
Oh, here you go. Some of them are needle point, some of them are cross stitch. Those are the ones where everything is little X's.
So the biggest way I learned with keywords is, like I said, is I will Google lens something or I'll just go into eBay and start looking up, like, this right here is obviously a hand towel.
Like a tea towel, right?
Tea towel, kitchen towel, hand towel, whatever you want to put. So I'll look up hand towel, embroidered hand towels, and I'll just see what other people are using for their keywords. And
that one's kind of easy because you can just go North Carolina. But I mean, yeah, the more kind of basic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say, like, embroidered, what the edge type is, if it's scalloped, if it's crocheted, things like that. Some of the colors or whatever the design is that's on there. One of the ones I sold was a woman with a bonnet. So that was one of the keywords is like the bonnet and stuff like that.
Yeah. You put like lady or something maybe.
Yeah. And like I'm not a fan, me personally, I'm not a fan of getting pillowcases that are singles. If I get a pillowcase that is embroidered, I like to get doubles.
A set,
yeah. Because most people like to have the set on their bed, not the single.
I'm the weirdo that's like, ooh, that's a cool pillowcase. I'm gonna get that one. We have like 4 different pillowcases right now.
So, and I will look and see, like, what do other people have things listed for, on there. And so I make a decision on the pricing based on how much detail is in there. Is there a lot of embroidery? Sorry guys, I'm getting tired. Is there a lot of embroidery? Is it really colorful? Is it really detailed and things like that? So the more detailed, the higher the price is going to go. If it's just something real basic and simple, $8, depending on what it is, like a little handkerchief, like probably like $8. Really detailed handkerchief, 12, 15, it just depends.
Yeah, she does pretty good. We actually do sell quite a few linens. And honestly, feedback has been great on our linens. We've gotten a lot of very beautiful things like that. She does a good job.
And you might sit on it for a while, but it'll sell.
They do tend to be a little slow movers, but with as easy as they are to list and pack and ship and all that, it's kind of worth it. Yeah, so... moving on, we've got 4 more questions. Do you promote items on eBay? If so, what percentage do you promote and why? So, yes, we do. And why? We do promote on eBay, or I do, whatever, we. I first started doing trending, and just like probably 6 months ago or so, I started going, I feel like I'm really giving too much of my money away to that, because if you think about it, an average seller, if you don't have like the big store, you're not a top rated plus, you're paying about 13% in fees ish. And once you figure in, like, say something was $20, or let's do easy math, $100, and you pay 13% in fees, that's what, $13, right? So that's $13. Then you got to take out the cost of your shipping supplies. You have the cost of goods comes out of that. And then you also have, you got to pay taxes on it. What's the other thing? There was something else I was going to say. There's just all these factors. If you send an offer or accept an offer, that's another percentage off. And then you have your promoted percentage on top of that. So you could end up, 30% of it goes to all of that. 40% of it can go to all of that. If you're, promoting it like 10, 15%, that's a lot. That's just 30% alone going to eBay. If you did 15% in promotions and 13% going to your eBay fees, that's 28% off the top right there. And you have to pay taxes on it. So you got to consider that stuff. So I kind of started bumping everything down to 7%. If you're going to lower your percentage, if you're already at a little bit higher of a rate and you want to go lower, do it slowly. Don't just go in and edit your entire store. Your sales will just stop.
Die.
They will just stop. eBay takes it personally, I guess. I don't know. Their computers take it personally. So, what I did was I just started everything that I was newly listing. I started promoting at 7%. And here just recently, I actually started doing just 4%. I'd like to get down to 2%, but like I said, I just don't want to go in and kill all my sales. So I've just been doing it slowly, but you really got to consider that stuff. Do the math. We're working with the CPA on taxes right now. And when I printed off my seller report from my reseller genie, link in the description below, I was shocked at the amount of fees and shipping costs and things that come out of your profit. So, I already knew it was like that, but just every year when you see those numbers, you go, ugh, it just makes you sick to your stomach. But so yeah, I do promote, but I'm trying to get everything down to 4% slowly but surely. If you have an older listing, I would suggest ending and sell similar, and then when you sell similar, change the rate then. I think if you just go in and edit the promotion rate, that's when eBay goes, hey, why are you, lowering that? And they get their computers get upset. But so I would suggest, this is just my theory. It's not proven or anything like that. Personally, I think if you end and sell similar, then you're creating a new listing in the algorithm's eyes, and that would be the time to change something that was already listed to lower it. But all personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Do with it what you will. I'm getting tired too. And let's see. So I told all of that. There we go. That was a very long explanation. I do apologize. Is there a guide for rating condition on media such as CDs, DVD, and video games and VHS? So,
no.
There's not necessarily, but if you look on eBay on your screen, when you're listing on like PC especially, you can choose your condition. The media normally has new, like new, good. I think there might be an excellent, I'm not sure, good, and then like acceptable. You should be able to click on those, or there might be a little blurb underneath of them that gives you a description of what that condition is. And sometimes it'll say see more. You can click on it and give you a little bit more exact idea of what type of items you should choose that condition for. So that would be my best way to explain that. I hope it was helpful.
I think that, because I've heard that on like the cards and stuff like that, and
graded items,
not graded.
Oh, okay.
I heard that eBay is trying to push you to put if it's mint, near mint, or
I would think that would be like graded, but
I disagree with that. I that's a personal opinion, and if you're not a professional grader, then I think
I know like the grading companies have a standard, and this is what they go by. You grade it based off of these things, like each little nick is 1 point off or something like that. I'm sure that's how they do it, and that's how they keep a constant, consistent standard in their facility with multiple graders. However, if I actually just had this conversation with my mom, if say you have a card like a sports card that is
I wouldn't even go with cards. I would go back to what you're talking about.
What?
Your DVDs and stuff.
DVDs and stuff. Well, I just wanted to point out the graded part.
Oh, okay.
As far as grading, it really is. If you're not a professional grader and you're not working for a grading company, then it's more or less opinion. You could take a sports card to this sports shop and that guy can give it a 7, and you can go to the sports shop down the road and that guy gives you a 9. I mean, so you have to...
And you can go to the fan who's like, I really love this player, so I think that thing is in...
They think it's a
mint
10.
Condition 10.
And then you get the random people at the garage sales that are like, this thing sells for $5,000 on eBay. It's the greatest Disney Black Diamond VHS ever made. But yeah, so I think that like the grading and stuff, I don't ever put mint or anything like that. It's a personal choice because I don't want to, say I put something in my item specifics as excellent or great or whatever the mid one is. And it gets to the customer and they go, that's not that. That's more like good, or that's more like acceptable. That's where the personal opinion comes in. So honestly, I just leave those blank. eBay may not really like that, but I'd rather not give someone an opportunity to say that's wrong, that's an item not as described, and get an INAD strike on my account. So
And INAD stands for?
INAD stands for item not as described.
Okay.
You are sleepy. Your eyes are getting droopy.
It was a long day.
So
I got beat up at work today.
She did. I hope that answers your question. 2 more, and these are they kind of go together. What are your plans or goals to scale up your business? Which they kind of go together, but they kind of don't. So scaling up as in making our business bigger and getting it to the point that this one can retire.
Well, if YouTube...
What are our plans? Well, YouTube's getting there. Once we actually start making some money from YouTube, which it's gonna be a really long time before it's much, but if we get YouTube really going good, that would be great. We just keep pushing on it.
YouTube will hopefully pay off in the end. At the moment, YouTube is very time consuming for no payout.
Yes.
Well, not no payout. Let me say, because you do have followers and you do have people who probably buy.
Yeah, no,
from
we've
you
made
because...
as far as like community, and we've made a couple of random eBay sales from viewers, which is really cool. We do appreciate it. We don't expect anybody to go out and buy from us, but that watches our videos, but it's really fun when somebody does. So we've gotten that, but really I've been making YouTube videos for over a year now for free. And it's a lot of work. Estate sale videos and garage sale videos, those take me almost a full day to edit. And that's 2 days out of my week that I'm getting next to nothing done when it comes to eBay and reselling and making money that way. So it is very time consuming. It's very tiring. There are times, I'm sure you guys may tell in a video here or there, that the quality may not be that great, and it's because I'm so pooped. But yeah, so hopefully that will take off. That's the big plan, is to get that going. But as far as like eBay and stuff, we're about to do our second Dibdit auction, which we've mentioned a couple times already this video, but hopefully Dibdit will start to take off some more. We did our first auction kind of as a test run. We didn't tell anybody, other than advertising that was done by, I believe Alicia Ink Picker advertised it some. There was probably a couple other people too. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but I just kind of stayed quiet about it because I just wanted to test it and see how it went, because we didn't do great with Whatnot. So, but it went so well, and we were invited to be a part of this big raid train coming up next week. So that's going to be really fun. And I'm pretty sure that's going to go well also. We'll have a little 30-minute spot, which isn't long, but it'll be fun. And so hopefully that'll take off and help us start moving stuff, especially Death Pile. I think we have so much vintage pop culture type stuff that's in our death pile. It would be amazing to move it that way.
Some of our goals are to start getting through this death pile.
Yes.
Yes. And things like that. And
yeah, we have a move coming up in less than a year, so we've got to get the death pile moved.
I think that is our big focus. To be honest, I think that's our biggest focus in the near future, is the move.
Yes.
We will be moving at some point. Right now, we live in my sister's house. I'm holding it down for her while she's in the military, and she just retired. Congratulations, Jenna.
Yeah! She retired after 20 years in the Air Force, so that's amazing.
So she's coming back, and Jess and I are going to be finding our own place.
Yeah, so we get to go house hunting before too terribly long.
So that's our biggest goal, or biggest deal that we're dealing with this year. But for business wise, I think we really need to work on the death pile.
Yeah, and listing more high quality items on eBay. We have kind of followed the lead of several other YouTubers that you guys may know that are forcing themselves to only list things that are $15 or higher, or at least $10. I try not to do anything below $10 unless it's really super easy, like game pieces.
We kind of have that same goal for the booth and for for eBay, is that we want to start sourcing things that are better quality and better value.
Yeah,
higher price,
higher value, better ROI, return on investment. Because we can find good items at the bins. We can find good items at estate sales, yard sales. They are there. We are trying to teach ourselves to stop buying stuff because we like it. It's really easy to buy stuff because you think it's cool. Something that I had to learn really early on was, just because I think it's cool doesn't mean anybody else does. I think a lot of really dumb things are cool, but they don't sell well on eBay. So I've had to try to teach myself to leave those things behind, and it's a really, really hard thing to do. So that's our biggest focus right now, is get through the death pile and only buy things that are higher value with a better sell-through rate. And last but not least, what is your dream or ultimate goal with reselling? Mine is to just keep doing it, to be able to continue doing it for the rest of my life, and for her, or until the point that we can actually retire. Like, totally retire, but I kind of feel like I'm going to resell forever. Because we met a lady in Vegas at the Trash to Cash Bash last year that wasn't she in her 80s? And she's selling books and stuff on eBay. If you're
enjoying it, then yeah, you should do it.
Yeah. Oh, she was selling quilts or something too.
I feel like when you can retire from your career, but you got to do something. And so if you're really enjoying reselling, then continue to do it even after retirement. Yeah. Because I think that if you just basically sit down and don't do anything after retirement, then you start hurting and you start having issues.
And you gain weight like me.
No.
No, I've gained some weight since I quit quit working on airplanes because it was very physical. But yeah, so my ultimate goal is to be able to continue doing it forever, and also to get this one away from having to work at UPS. I would love to have her at home full time. We get on each other's nerves sometimes, but we can go to opposite rooms. She can come in here in her office and game, and I can go into the eBay room and work.
And I mean, hopefully, we'll see how things turn out this year when we go find our own place. But the biggest hope is that we find something with a shop that is separate from the house.
A shop or room available for us to put a shed or something to where I'm not working in the home anymore. I think I need that physical walk away from the house and go to work. And I think that it will help. But yeah, so those are my biggest goals: to get her home and retired and be able to work from home with me. And to continue doing it forever. No, I don't even know what your retirement is. You toot. I'm gonna call you a toot on that one. So what's your ultimate goal? Is that pretty much it?
I mean,
same
it would
as
be
mine,
nice.
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll get you there. It's gonna happen.
It would be nice to get to the point where I didn't have to work. I mean, UPS is a good job.
The benefits are amazing.
The benefits are good.
Yeah, they're good.
It really sucks to work outside in
every element.
Every element.
Yeah, that's it, man. A lot of great questions, 25 in total. We had several people that asked. So to you guys, again, that did send us in questions, my mom, Linda, Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, ABC, Matt, Amy Beach by Repeat. I said your name weird. Amy Beach by Repeat. I repeated it because she says to. You. Oh, hang on. Let me tell the last couple.
Okay.
Smart, Thrifty, and Chic. Or is it Smart, Thrifty, and Chic? I think it's Chic. 4336, Sticky Bricks, and RTBNYC. Thank you so much for your questions. We do really appreciate it. What's your question for me? I'm scared.
Are you glad you went full-time? Like, are you happy that you went full-time reseller? And would you recommend other people to do it?
Ooh, that's hard. Gosh. I didn't think I was ever going to get to go full-time. And then we moved in together, and you have a really good job, and I was able to take that opportunity, and I freaking took it.
Score, I found a sucker.
No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it was a really scary decision, and it still is a scary decision because I made really good money working for the government, working for the military. I had great benefits. Not as good as hers, honestly. She has way better medical insurance than I've ever had at any job, including the government. But, it was a really hard decision to make. I was really cranking out listings right before I went full time. And then I decided to start doing YouTube, and that started eating up a bunch of time. So, would I recommend that someone else do it? If it's feasible, yes. If you're going to put yourself in the poorhouse or be living dollar to dollar, don't do it. Don't go full time yet. Make good decisions. Really think about it. Your situation could be totally different than mine. A lot of yours is. I'm not single, but tax return wise, I file single because we're not married. So, yet. But, so my situation's a little different. If it was just me and I wasn't with Xena, I would probably still be working on airplanes. Because I'd be too scared to take the leap. But, I do believe in YOLO. I know a lot of people don't say YOLO a lot anymore, but you do only live once. So it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have my own business since I was a little kid. So this was kind of my way. Taking that step into an antique booth was the first taste of it I got, and I really loved it. And so if you have the means to do it, do it. If you're scared to take that leap and the numbers are saying that you can, I would say do it. But really, it's a personal choice. Really think long and hard about it. Don't just up and do it. Don't do it until the numbers say that you can, because you don't want to screw yourself. eBay is a roller coaster. So is making YouTube videos. You have really great videos. You have really great sales. And then the next day it's crap. It's just how it works. It comes in waves, so you have to be able to plan for that. Make sure that you can, pay your bills and
one of the
all that.
biggest things I've heard another YouTuber say is, you only see what we let you see.
That's true.
You only see the good stuff most of the time. You only see the really cool stuff. You don't see the other part of the negative side sometimes.
Yeah. Your garage doesn't look like ours, probably.
Yeah.
That's why I did a video a while back. We have a secret, and it's our garage. It's a disaster.
And the stressful
One of these days,
times,
we got to show them the storage unit.
The stressful times of like, we didn't hear cha-ching for 24 hours.
That's happened a couple of times this year. Yeah, there's been a couple of days, and it took quite a while before that happened. But when it happened, I freaked out. But luckily, it started picking back up. So, it's a really hard decision. I'm not ever going to say never go full-time. I think that if you can, do it. On that same line, would I recommend anybody starting a YouTube channel? Not if you don't want to make, if you're okay with making no money for over a year from a project.
If you're going to do it as something that you enjoy.
You're passionate about it. You love the creative outlet. That's what it is for me. I love the creative outlet. I'm at home alone a lot. I don't have any friends really here in town that I hang out with or anything. So it's a good way for me to talk to you guys, network with people. So it's brought us a lot of really cool opportunities. We got to go to the Trash to Cash Vegas Bash last year in April. And into next month, February, we're going to Nebraska. I've never been to Nebraska, and I don't think you have either, have you?
No.
We're going to the Plains to Profit convention up in Nebraska, so that's going to be fun, especially into February in the snow. So, yeah, it's been really cool. It's brought us a lot of real fun opportunities. So, if you're into doing it for free for who knows how long, you could get lucky and be one of those people that goes viral. And
it's like hitting the lottery, though.
It is. It's like hitting the lottery. The chances of you having a crazy successful YouTube channel right off the bat are so
go viral
slim.
Like right away.
Yeah, it's slim, man. It's slim. So yeah, it's definitely a passion project for me. I love it. But so anyways, we've rambled on long enough. The time on the GoPro has stopped. I just noticed it quit counting down, so it's over an hour. Guys, longest video we've ever made. If you made it this far, you are a superstar, and we love you for it. Thank you so much for watching this long. We hope we answered all your questions. If we didn't, feel free to ask them in the comments down below. We'd be glad to answer them for you there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this long, and thanks for being around as long as you have, whether it's one day or the whole time we've been doing this. Over a year, we finally made it to 100 videos, long form videos. That does not count the shorts. With shorts, this will make 155 videos. But so actual videos, 100 of them. Thanks, guys. We couldn't have done it without you. You guys are amazing. We love you all and appreciate you being here. And if you would like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you would, share this with your friends. If they're interested in reselling, they can get a little taste of what it's like. So we appreciate it.
Don't forget, Dibdit auction coming up.
Yep, Thursday. February 8th.
There'll be more information coming out on that.
She won't be there, but I'll be going live at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you are new and you've never created a profile on the District app, there is a link in the description below to this video that you can click on. It'll take you to Dibdit, sign up for it, and you should get a coupon. I think it's $5 off your first purchase of a buy it now item. I've got it all written in the details written in the description below, so check that out.
Then also, I finished the hat cleaning video for those of you that wanted to see it, and that will be coming out soon.
Coming up soon, guys. She just finished it this week, so we'll get that one out pretty soon. I think we're either going to do the hat video or an estate sale next, so definitely hit the notification bell so you get notified when that comes out. Anyway.
On that note, I need to go to bed.
Me too. I'm tired, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.